The sound, it's weird doing it without the
noise.
You're really good at that.
Well, you'd hope so. I've been doing it long enough.
But I'm just saying.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Ooh.
Jacob,
Hey.
this question is
Whoa. Zendaya got visibly turned down by that. I mean, obviously they were just playing around, but that was the first time I ever saw Zendaya actually show anything. Any type of thing that is personal and like intimate and flirty with anybody. So this was really big.
Why it's called football.
Yeah, it should be called something different, maybe.
Throw ball. Whatever you want to call it.
Throw
but
ball.
you don't kick it.
You do kick it.
Yeah, once.
But once.
Yeah. And we went to the Ballon d'Or the other day and we met Messi and it was crazy. It was crazy.
I don't really know what any of that means, but for sure.
You know, in the original Tom and Zendaya vid I did, it was so hard to find like attraction between the two. Like obviously there was chemistry, but like there was chemistry with everybody in those videos. There, like that, these guys are trained to have chemistry. What I was looking for is like actual like little cute, and still just like this is my first video that I'm watching. Don't see a lot. But something that I'm seeing differently that I've never seen before in Zendaya. Zendaya's like giggle with Tom is like so like what's the word? Like girly. I can't think of a better word. It's like so smitten, I think. Like when she laughs, she's like that was probably the most disgusting thing. The only reason I'm not editing that out is because I want you to feel the disgust from watching that. But I don't know, it's just like there's a little more of like a shyness. Yeah, it's more like a shy laugh Zendaya is putting out with Tom, and they're dating supposedly, right? Like they're dating. So then why is she acting like a little shyer than she usually does? And my gut is trying to tell me that it's because she genuinely like is really smitten with Tom. But this is early, we just began the video. I'm not gonna say much. I always like coming at it unbiased as though I don't know that they're dating. Because honestly, do we know that, like, did they actually come out and go, I am in a romantic like have they said that? Like maybe, but it's not like official, right? They could have just hooked up. It could have just been for jokes. Like there were some rumors that the kissing in the car was just for the paparazzi. They were just goofing, they were just trolling. Like I'm pretty sure they're dating, but still, let's go at this with an unbiased eye.
Best city in the world. 3.
Well, I know what you're gonna say.
1. If you're showing your favorite place in London, where you take your picture.
I can't tell you that because then people will go there and try and find us there.
Just right there.
Just leave it up to the people.
Yeah. It's not for us to decide.
Tell us Tom's best qualities as Spider-Man.
Best qualities of Spider.
Sorry.
Best qualities of Spider-Man. I would say
Handsome.
Still, there was a whole bunch of like smitten, shy Zendaya laughing right at Tom. And it was so strong and it was so different than anything I've ever seen before. Yeah, Zendaya laughs a lot, but not like that. But honestly, they're still so good at like keeping their flirtiness on the DL. Has anybody heard of DL? That's like old guy talk.
You'll say things like there were several times like while we were shooting where he would say things in a perfect American accent, but say things that American people don't say, like rubbish or whatever.
Right.
See, that's new. Not to say that they wouldn't do this if they were just friends. Two people that spend a lot of time together that are really, really good friends would, you know, do a little bit of this, but it is kind of right on to that relationship vibe. And it was nice to see Tom do that because I feel like it's Zendaya that's the one that's keeping it more wrapped up, keeping this relationship less out in the open, less PDA, even though Tom seems pretty private too and to himself and doesn't let out so much personal stuff. I feel like if it's anybody, it's gonna be Tom that shows more of the relationshipy stuff like on these interviews. And so this was the first like real hint that these guys are together, that they have been dating, that they are attracted to each other, that they are into each other.
Tom, what's one thing about your two friends sitting next to you that we would be surprised to know about, would you say?
That Jacob is an incredible singer.
No, I noticed in the comments, people said when the guy said two friends, oh, look at Zendaya's face. She didn't have any face. In fact, I think it's, like I said, I think it's Zendaya that wants to be the one to make it more private. And this is what happens a lot on the internet when they make fan cams and all this type of stuff. They put together all of these videos and then they try to imply things that aren't really there. And that's why I like to go at these non-biased.
Your height difference makes those stunts more complicated.
Thank you, Graham.
I didn't say it. Zendaya said it.
No, that is a good story.
It's a good story. Well, you see, there's a particular stunt. I don't know if it's in this, but there's a, you know, Spider-Man swings us on top of a bridge, and he places me there.
Oh, there you
and
are.
That's the bridge.
Yeah, that's the bridge.
We eventually jump off of that. I was
Great.
screaming. Yeah. So he's supposed to gently, you know, rest MJ on the bridge and walk away from her. Because of our height difference, I obviously, if we're on the same like
Yeah, 'cause
point,
we were attached, weren't
we
we?
were attached. I would land before him because my feet obviously hit the ground before he does. So, what would happen?
Well, it's called a bottom mark, isn't it? And the bottom mark is to basically, it's a thing that they do in stunts that is basically designed to stop you shattering your kneecaps.
Oh, yeah.
So Zendaya would land, and I'm the superhero. I'm supposed to look cool. And she would land, and then I would sort of land like this, and my feet would swing from underneath me, and then she would catch me. And then you're like, cut! I'm like, oh, stop doing that!
I think so many people are so focused on a man having to be super tall in order to be attractive to women, and it's really just not true. Now listen, yes, I'm not going to deny the fact that there's a lot of women out there that want this height thing. But to me, it's the same thing with guys that have such a big issue with like a weight thing with women. I believe that attraction does not work like that. No, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. I don't believe. I know that attraction, sexual attraction, does not work like that. That being said, the way you want to be perceived to the world does work like that. Yes, if you do have a checklist for somebody, that has nothing to do with how attracted you are to the person. You could be very regularly attracted to tall people and then meet somebody, and then that just the way that person is all put together, even though they're not tall, could be very attractive to you. Because attraction works like this. It's a big ball of all these qualities that make somebody super charming to you. You know, there's so many stories I've heard from women that say, oh, I usually go for tall guys, but I'm just dating this one guy right now and he's so amazing and he's so attractive and he's shorter than I am. And I actually like that he's not tall because of how confident and how much swagger he has and all that stuff. So if there are qualities that you possess that the world generally sees as less desirable or whatever, I want you to know that has nothing to do with sexual attraction or chemistry. It only has to do with how somebody wants to be perceived based on who they're dating. Do you just want to be a piece of validation for the person that you're dating? Is that what you want to represent? In many people, yes, and that's okay. Not for me. I don't give a shit. I don't care about being a source of validation to the world for the person that I'm dating. That doesn't matter to me. And I don't need somebody to validate me to the world. That's not how my attraction works. I'm much more happy dating somebody merely because I actually feel sexually attracted to them, and because I have so much chemistry with them, and because our sense of humors align, our values align. All of those things are what make me interested in being in a relationship. So what I recommend to you is, if you have a quality about yourself, like being short, maybe a little overweight, or whatever thing it is that you might be insecure about, I want you to own it. I want you to own it so hard that everyone you meet sees you and is like, holy crap. Like, they see you kind of like breaking the walls of reality, right? And there's people like that you meet where they're so confident in themselves that they like change the rules of things. You know, I learned that by growing up with friends like that, where they were so confident that the things that were not generally attracted by the world, what was this? Jazz hands that I just did. That the things that are not generally attractive to the world, they don't possess. They have the opposite, but they are so confident in themselves that they make that thing look attractive. It makes you look at them and you're like, damn, I kind of want that now. I kind of want to be cool because whatever they're doing it's making me want to have it, you know? And I'll bet you've had a friend or you've dated somebody that has had something like that. You've seen somebody like that. That is true power. The confidence in everything about you that you literally shift people's perception of reality. You shift people's value system. That's so much more powerful than just trying to constantly fit into the ever-changing, ever-evolving, socially acceptable, high-value human being. Now, I go really, really deep into this stuff on my new podcast called, actually, Beta's Podcast. I stream every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. That allows me to get so much more engaged with my community. And that's what this podcast is really about. It's about you. I have all of my members and viewers come on to the stream, ask me questions. I actually bring you guys up and then put you on little mock dates and then coach you through it. And then I'll have a lot of my creator friends come on and I'll ask them about their dating lives and I'll get like maybe a little too personal with them. And then I'll also try to get them to go on a mock date with you guys just to make it fun. So yeah, the best part about this podcast is that I actually live stream. And so I don't want you to watch this podcast after it air. Like the best part about it is when you guys come on live and you're in the live chat, I'm reacting to the live chat, I'm bringing you guys up onto the Zoom. You get to ask questions to my guests, you get to ask questions to me. You could either click the link in the description or you can click right above. What's really important, guys, I just want two things. I want you to, one, subscribe to Beta's Podcast. You're not actually subscribed unless you click all notifications because it's only fun if you're actually there while I'm streaming. So my dream, my Christmas gift, I don't want anything. I want one thing, is to get Beta's Podcast to 1,000 subscribers before the new year. That's it. That's all I want. It's at like 650 right now. There's my super duper duper subscribers on there, like my diehards that they come on every episode and we have so much fun. I want you to be part of that. This is all about building the Beta community. But most of all, like in all my videos, I actually want you to learn something along the way. Take something home with you so you could improve in your own dating life, in your own relationships. So again, click the link in the description, subscribe, hit the bell, all notifications. You're not really subscribed unless you're there during the live stream.
I could cook you up a lovely like nut roast.
I heard about
stuffing, potatoes.
Your food from your brothers. You cooked something, it looked good, but apparently
yeah, but that
it
was a
didn't
bit.
Taste all
listen,
that.
I was tackling a hot. That was lamb shanks. Is quite tough to cook.
I'm just saying.
At least I was
he
brave
like,
enough
look
to
what
try.
I made, and all the sauce, and then I hear from his brothers like it was awful.
Yeah, I overcooked it and I used too much red wine, so it was too
pretty
dark.
It was pretty.
The mashed potato was so good though.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really good.
I think we do a good job together.
We know, but we can't cook together, can we?
Yeah, no.
Either one of us has to cook. Either Zendaya's cooking or I'm cooking. Because Zendaya, every time she cooks, comes millimeters from not chopping her fingers off, her hand off.
So that was cute. I think we'd be good together. But then Tom closes us out, oh no, we can't cook together. I don't know, there's some stuff that they haven't talked about yet. But, it's so hard to find any real intimacy, any real flirting, any confirmation that they are dating.
We both are a bit controlling
in the kitchen.
I like it to do it my way. He likes to do it his way. So it's better if just one of us does it.
Okay, but there you go. I mean, they're saying right here that they are together, they cook together, and you could tell that they have these like disagreements that are more relationshipy. I like to do it my way, he likes to do it his way. I mean, these are things that they wouldn't say if they weren't confirmed dating. These are things that they wouldn't say like 2 years ago on the last movie junket. So we're making some progress, but come on, I want some juicy juice.
The sound, it's weird doing it without the
noise.
You're really good at that.
Well, you'd hope so. I've been doing it long enough.
But I'm just saying.
That's a good one.
Ooh.
Jacob,
Hey.
this question is...
Whoa, Zendaya got visibly turned on by that. I mean, obviously they were just playing around, but that was the first time I ever saw Zendaya actually show anything. Any type of thing that is personal and like intimate and flirty with anybody. So this was really big. And I just want to rewind it and see how Tom responded to that because I was looking at Zendaya the whole time.
That's a good one.
Ooh.
Jacob, This question is for you. I want.
Yeah, they gave a little look right there. Tom kind of gave a look of like, and I'll show you more of that later. Web slinging, I mean.
Zendaya, is there ever a point where you're like, I want the spider to bite MJ so you could have some superhero powers?
Oh no, thank you. I see what
The spider's dead. The spider is dead.
Oh, see, this interview, Zendaya is a lot more flirty. Do you see how like she's bumping up against him? That's not something that she used to do. I've been watching these guys, okay? I'm like the creepy uncle that just keeps an eye on them.
That's what I'm excited to know.
Yeah, us too.
For sure.
Yeah, there's like a lot more of Zendaya kind of rubbing up against Tom anytime he says something. So much different than the other interviews, but I feel like it really is based on Zendaya's mood that day. Like if she's feeling more in her head, she's going to be a little more well-behaved on the outside. I think if she's feeling more relaxed that day, she's gonna feel more at ease, more loose, more able to be herself.
Over an Act 1 scene from one of the previous franchises, which one would you love to have a chance at acting in?
That's a great question.
You already said yours the other day.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
What did I say?
I don't know. Maybe you changed.
What did I say?
Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. That's messed up. You don't remember what
Oh,
it is? That's messed up,
I know
bro.
what it is.
Yeah.
I want to go and do the upside down
Yeah.
making out scene in the rain. Right now. Jacob, let's go.
Let's do it.
Harness up, Jacob. You two have fun.
I mean, that's pretty clear. You could tell that it was something that Tom and Zendaya had talked about. He said, oh, I want to do it with you or something like that. And that's like, she wasn't trying to say it because, you know, Zendaya is the more private one. So that's a nice little hint. If we didn't have that famous paparazzi photo of Tom and Zendaya kissing in the car and maybe them going into Tom's like beach house or something like that at his family's house, I would still be a little bit on the fence whether these two were dating. But in this GQ interview, he did say one of the downsides of our fame is that privacy isn't really in our control anymore, and a moment that you think is between two people that love each other very much is now a moment that is shared with the entire world. Boom. Tom is not the type of person that would take trolling to that level where he would say two people that you love that love each other very much is now in a moment that's shared with the entire world. He wouldn't take the joke that far. So I could confirm right there that's a relationship. And then he says, I've always been really adamant to keep my private life private because I share so much of my life with the world anyway. We sort of felt robbed of our privacy. That's really interesting. It shows how private they really are together and why it was so hard for me to extract any meatiness, any juicy juice from these interviews. They still seemed honestly like they were just best friends from the early movies. And who knows when they actually started dating anyway. I would honestly say officially between them, it really was recently. It probably was during quarantine. But I mean, I think there's so much that we could learn from these two. First of all, how freaking sweet and selfless and just charming and vulnerable these two are. Tom is a beta king, and I pray to him. I pray to my beta king, Tom Holland. If we want a part 3 of Tom and Zendaya, if you in the comments have even juicier videos that I haven't watched, put it in the comments and let's get this video to 10,000 likes and I'll do a part 3. But speaking of beta kings and beta queens, that's why I created my podcast, Betas, which has its own channel. Click the link in the description now. Make sure you hit those all notifications so you can join me. Join the beta family. Be in the live chat with everybody else. I'm gonna be reading what you say. You can come up, ask me questions live on the live stream, and even go on fake dates with other viewers. This is the funnest thing. This is why all of my viewers are there every week to watch and go on fake dates. I call them mock dates, and then I'll walk you through them. I'll coach you through the mock dates so you don't feel nervous, and trust me, everybody there is so sweet, so caring. There's no alpha dickery, douchebaggery in my community. So if you want to watch a recent episode where I interviewed Chase from Too Hot to Handle, click the link in the description. And like I said, if you do not subscribe and hit all notifications, if you just hit subscribe, you have not fully subscribed. I need you there in the live chat, chatting with me. And again, It's gonna be my Christmas present. I don't want anything else. I just want to get betas to 1,000 subscribers before January 1st. Let's make this happen. Let's grow the beta family, baby.
Betas is a show about relationships made for the weirdos, introverts, and artists who love people, conversation, and learning to embrace who they are instead of molding to what the normies want from you. Let's begin the show.